Have you ever had it where your business is so well known to you that maybe you've been going for 20, 30 or 40 years even, and you just assume everyone else understands what it is you do? Well, in my website critique today, I'm going to look at a business that was established back in 1982. A beautiful business. They're particularly good at what they do. But when you visit it for the first time, is it that apparent? Welcome to my website critique review. Hi, I'm Zane from Zanet Design, and I use my 20 years of experience to try and help to show to you how you can improve your business too. So if you're trying to improve your business, maybe online with a website or with Google My Business, or you're just trying to improve your local SEO, then this type of critique will be useful for you, because we take an example of one of my subscribers on YouTube. We take their website and their business, and then we try and find 5 things that it can improve on that's going to help them, but at the same time, if there are things you can relate to with your business, it will help you too. So just thinking of that thought then, when people visit your website, here's a question for you. Do they really have enough clues to know exactly what it is that your business does? Could it be that you know your business so well that you assume it's obvious to those that visit? Well, as we look at this website now, see if you can perhaps pick out areas in which it can improve on, and hopefully there are things that maybe you can consider as well from an outsider's point of view. What is it that could be done to improve your website too? So join me now as I jump into Channel 1 Digital. So I'm going to start by typing in Channel 1 Digital Inc. There you go. So that comes up there. Good. Okay, so we go to their website. Now, I've not really had a chance to look in detail as to what they do. And I think the first thing I would say is that I get the impression it's something to do with videos, because you've got play a demo. So let's go for that. Okay, so another video comes up as well. Okay, so probably my first initial reaction was that when I go to a website, let's just go back here to that. Okay, so when I go to a website, the first thing I want to do is know what it is that the business does. And there's rotating images, bring your home movies into new decade. Okay, so that tells me a little bit about their video production company, and I can then see some various images that are rotating around. And really, I think that the challenge we've got here is I'm not sure what it is that the company does when I first arrive, but I'm going to go to our website and see what that says. So here we now get a much clearer picture as to what you do. So I can see a rotating kind of reel there, some sort of video to video recording, or maybe converting of videos as well. One focus, your success. And then if I come down, video post-production for film and TV. Okay, so I think we're looking for 5 things, and I think initially, right from the start, and I normally like to kind of find some things that are really good, and there are some things that I'm sure I'll find in a moment, but from the start I just need to know what it is that you do. And I can see up here, home video production. So I'm going to make that the first point, is just a bit of clarity when I go to the home page as to what it is you do. So rather than say play demo, and then actually when I did play the demo, it just loaded a video where I've then got another second click. And it sounds ridiculous, but you know, if you take Amazon, everything you can buy now is by one click. People are very much into one click. It's almost like it's too much effort to do a second click to find out what you do. Obviously, if I do that, then I'll get a good idea of what you do, and I'm sure that's kind of some good examples of the work that you do. So that's it. It's one of those ones. It's a difficult one because you're trying to show people that you do video, but I think you're showing it so early on that people don't even know what it is you do. And I think actually your page here, so the actual second page, which is called home video production, it still shows video. I like this movement here, and I think that's a much more of a presentable homepage. So my suggestion would be immediately lose the video at the beginning, the splash page in effect. Make this the home page. change this so that it actually tells me exactly what it is you do. And that would be my first kind of main thing to look at. They talk about an elevator pitch, and it's you should be able to explain within just a few seconds, really, in a lift when you're with someone what it is you do. And even one focus, your success. It's a statement, but it doesn't really explain what it is you do. So maybe just mention about your TV producers or your movie producers, or I think your video production service is probably the way I'd explain it. And then in that way, then from the beginning of visiting your website, you've got good communication to your potential people that want to then use you and use your service. So that'll be my kind of first thing. But I want to say I like this movement here, and I think this is great, and this flash as well. This is really good, and I think you should do more of that on the website. And this is good as well. You've got immediately get a quote, and if I click that, I've got some information here that comes up that I can fill out. That's excellent as well, because you're not expecting too much information. So a simple form is always much more productive and will get much more people, will improve on the amount of people that want to use it as well. So that's really good. So maybe this font's not so easy to use. I think there's some modern fonts I'd go for. Maybe increase the size slightly. That would just be my. I mean, that's it's okay. It's kind of not always easy to read that type of font. I like this. You've got this kind of scrolling effect here with the white sheet in the background. So that's excellent as well. And then you've got some reviews. So I can see you're very much into social media and integrating social media into your reviews, into your section of the site. Okay, so I can see how you've done that, which is good. Project gallery. Okay, so this now takes me to some more demos. Okay, and these are then some of those videos as well that, again, the quality of the images aren't that great on these. I don't know whether that's something that you can control. Some are okay, but the quality of these images aren't. Bearing in mind you're a production company, I imagine when I play it, the image will improve. Let's see. Yeah, so we've got a much better quality image there. So again, I'm not sure how you've done this, but if it was me, I'd make sure that the images I'm using are high quality images, because that looks far better than it did a moment ago when I clicked on. Let's go to that. Yeah, so it's just something there to consider. Okay, so let's go back to, because it sounds at the moment I've gone straight into attack mode, and I don't like to do that because I like to find some good things, and there are some good things on here because you've got some good integration here of your website. So this is excellent. I like this as well. Let's go to services. Okay, so that's nicely laid out and explains what you've done. I mean, looking at it, you've obviously got a lot of information here, but then you've got to contact us as well. Okay, and again, a nice clear thing, and you've got your map as well, which is good. And Boulevard Suite, Channel 1 Digital Income. Okay, good. So I'm going to, there was a couple of things I noticed. On here, get a quote. I noticed on here that you've got no heading 1. I think when I had a look earlier, I just checked a couple of things. And yeah, so this is a heading 2. And so is this is a heading 2. So every page should have a heading 1. So this is all part of really, I'd say just making, there's a few things here. So heading 2's H1 tags, not H2 tags. I think there was another one I saw as well. I think it's on services. I noticed you've got, again, I think this is an H2. Yeah, so it's H2. So somewhere along the line, you've got an H3 there. So there's a bit of coding work to be done here where every page should have a heading 1. If I go to home, so that goes to there. Okay, and that's probably heading 1 there then. Yeah, so that's heading 1, H1. Okay, good. So, yeah, you need to just a little bit of correct HTML needs to be applied. So heading 1's to your services and get a quote page, and just in heading 1, make sure you've got some clarity on each page as well as to what it is that your call to action is, or what it is that you actually do. So explain what you do as well. Okay, so let's go on to a few other things as well. I thought it was good that you had a map, so let's go back to the contact page. That was good. So you've got a map on here, and that's excellent. Let's see what that does. So that takes you to Google Maps, and that's fine as well. And you've got your address there. So, and then this comes up with your video production, which is your Google My Business, which is probably then very good. So you've got some four reviews there, and you fill this out. Okay, so there's a thought there. So you've got Boulevard, because I thought that might be something that gets abbreviated. So this is something that we call NAP, and it's where you have an address. So BLVD is used, and yet that was different to the Boulevard there. Now, either this is right or this is right, and you're going to think, why am I being finicky? I'm not being finicky. It's exactly what Google does. Google looks at this address and then looks at your address there, and if it's not exactly the same, it sees it as a different company, or at the moment it does not tie the two up. So you're diluting. So rather than all the benefits you're getting from this website combining with all the benefits of your Google My Business, Google just sees them as two separate businesses, just because the spelling isn't quite the same. And again, what have you got here? So LA 705 United States, and here you've got no United States. So either copy and paste that onto there, or vice versa, and make sure they're the same, and then make sure they're consistent with all the other references that you have out there as well. So that would be my second thing, is really when it comes to Google My Business, to just bear that in mind. Now, I did look on Google My Business earlier on. What I did is I typed in video production service Louisiana, which I think would be correct, because I think that's what you're claiming you are, and then that's the area you're in. So you'd expect to come up in the top, well, you want a top 3 ideally, but when I did it, I was surprised to see that you've got a long way to go. So it was on page 7, and I know I'm searching from Bournemouth in England, so obviously if someone was nearby, they would find you straight away. But from the point of view of actual optimization in Google as well, then you've got page 7. So there's a long way to go here. So that's where you turned up on my first search. So that's something to consider as well. So I'm not quite sure what I'm at the moment. I'm on what, second 2 things so far? Don't know, maybe I'll try and condense these up in a minute. So let me look at something else as well. Is just going back to, I notice on the, if I go back to here, it takes me to the main domain, whereas home and this, ideally you want them to be the same. So if I go there, it takes me to home production, which is a page I'd probably say we should be a home page. But if I go there, it takes me back to the splash page, which is probably my next thing. Is I would say probably try and lose this if you can. Something else I just noticed, if I go to the play, and we've got this double play, when I finish the end of that video, it rightly so then says go to our site. So that's good. But if I click on that, it takes me to a page that doesn't exist, home 1. So there's another thing I'll say is it says there is an error in the URL. So this, it seems to me that there's some kind of confusion, because if I go from there, I would expect to go to this page. That's where I'd expect to go to. So I think that's another thing as well, is just trying to fix some of the links on the splash page. So my view would be to just lose the splash page on all the videos, make them come to here, lose this home production bit, and just make it so that it stands on the domain itself, on the main index page. And I think that will probably just help you to solidify a little bit as to where the site should be. So I think that's so far what I've got 3 things really. I'd say, firstly, make sure it's clear, the statement, make sure you've got a clear statement, an H1 tag on each page as well. So that was the first thing. Second thing is fix the links between these pages, particularly at the end of the video, so you don't get this kind of broken page, which is called home-1. The third thing is regarding your Google My Business. I think you could just, what was it? I was looking at that. So yeah, so from here, you need to get that Boulevard situation sorted out. There's something else as well I notice on this. So if I do, so your channel 1 digital, okay, so let's just try something here. So I'm going to go into, just go into here, go to Google, I'm going to put channel 1 digital. Okay, so channel 1 digital, if I type that in, and it's good you come up number 1, so that's great, and that's your company name. But this area here, for some reason, doesn't come up with your company. And the only thing I could find to do is if I put in incorporation, then you come up. And that's because that is your business name. But I'm surprised that you can't get found, or Google hasn't yet connected this, which is what you should have on the search for this. So that's a missed situation. And you may say, well, you know, is that possible? Well, I just checked it on mine. Let's go for I'm going to do an incognito because you could easily say that this is because of my cookies. But if I type in Zanet Design Limited, which is my company, okay, so there's my company, and I come up here. But if I just take out the limited, I still come up. And if I take out even just Zanet, I still come up. So I come up for Zanet Design and Zanet Design Limited. And I think that's probably because Google knows who I am. And this is probably the next thing I'd say is perhaps think a bit more about branding as well. Include your branding. So to come up page 7 on here shows perhaps that Google's not that sure who you are. Sorry, it's on it was on here, wasn't it? Page 7 on here. So that would be my advice, is try and get a website that really makes clear who you are. So probably a few more pages, a bit more detail, list video on the home page as well. On here, try and get more information about who you are, what you do, because a lot of the information on here is coming from other places rather than from yourself as well. So that would be my next suggestion, is to do that. So I'm not sure I'm at 3 or 4 at the moment, but yeah, there's certainly a few things here. Let me just go back to a few other little things. There's some positives as well. Let's just say that on here, it's good you've got 4 good reviews, and I think I noticed when I did look through here, you've got some really good things going on here. So it looks like you've been watching some of my videos and applying some of the things I've said, because if I look at the reviews, for example, here you've got good reviews, but also you've responded to the reviews, which is nice. So keep that going. So that's always good to get some good reviews and then to respond to them. So there's one there I think that needs response to, and that one as well. Oh no, you have responded. Yeah, no, you've responded to them all, so that's good. Excellent. So keep that going. It's good you've got 5 stars, so keep those going as well. There you go, video production service in Louisiana. So I would have thought that should come up. Well, it looks like you need to keep working hard on these. So you've got products as well, which is really good. So keep those going. Where do they go through? So yeah, okay, that's good. So again, get the Boulevard thing clear on everything you do. Order online. So if I click on that, I'm really interested in reel-to-reel. I'm going to order, and I just come through to play a demo. You know, that's the type of thing that probably will make such a difference to your business, is get these as proper landing pages. So have a page about reel-to-reel and then have a video on there, but just going there just gives me, if I'm a client, I'm just like, well, I'm interested, and what, you want me to play a demo? Or okay, I'll play the demo. They play the demo, they get to the end of the demo, and then it takes them to a page that was broken. So on here, so you know, just try and see it from the visitor's point of view. I'm going to close some of these down because there's too many now. Okay, so that would be another suggestion. Now I did do a check, and it's mobile friendly, your website, so I can't criticize it for that. It works on mobiles. I did check it on a proper one, but even when you shrink it down, it seems to work well. You've got the menu works, that's good. Portfolios, obviously the videos themselves work reasonably well. So everything's good on there. So it's mobile friendly, so that's really good to see. And it's good that you've updated. So going back to so just going back to here as well, it's good that you've got images and pictures, you've got the reviews and responses. So that's really good as well. So it seems to me like you're starting to really build this up. But I would focus on the website just as much as on your Google My Business, because the two do work together. And certainly make sure that you watch my video on NAP, because name, address and phone number have to be identical if you want to get some references there. In fact, I've got another video that's 13 tips and tricks. So have a look through my channel and you'll see there on YouTube as well that I've got some really good tricks that you can use to help integrate the two together as well. Now I was going to pick up on one of the images was huge, but then I noticed it is a CDN and it's not actually on your server. So actually it didn't seem to slow the website down at all. But I mean, this is about 10 times larger in file size. It's like 2 or 3 megabytes, and it should be, 10 times smaller than that. But I don't think that's going to be an issue for you, because if it's CDN, then you're probably okay. But just consider, I think a lot of the images have not been optimized at all for the web. So it means that when people are, using their phones and things, it's quite a lot of data to download. So that'd be another kind of small usability recommendation on that. So optimizing images would be good. And probably just the only other thing I could say. So I think I've got 4 things I've suggested here. So let's just run through. So make sure you've got that clear statement. Make sure you fix the links, because the home page and the splash page and the videos don't seem to link up properly. With Google My Business, there's there's certainly the ability to improve your branding and be shown not just on Channel 1 Digital Inc., but also on Channel 1 Digital. And to do that, you might need to let Google know a bit more about you. So keep optimizing. It might feel like it's a long time, but 2 or 3 months down the line, if you keep adding posts and offers, I've just released a video that's about special offers this week. Have a look at that, and building your branding as well. As a video I've got on that for small businesses. And if you apply those things in about 2 or 3 months time, you'll see a massive difference, where you'll probably be on page 1, not page 7 of the results for Google My Business as well. So that's something to work towards. That was the third one, was Google My Business. The fourth one, usability. So just make sure that your usability is there. So things like optimizing images would be good. Considering how people are using the website as well. Perhaps clicking buttons and things. Maybe just a few more pages as well to make it useful. That would be good. The Boulevard thing as well, we mentioned. It just makes it the whole thing tie together. But on the whole, I think the usability wasn't too bad. Just a little bit of optimization there. And then I would say the fifth one then would be SEO improvements. So the moment that there's not a lot of traffic, I think I checked, and you have about 25 backlinks to the website. And really, you could get a lot more organic traffic if you added some blogs and things. So maybe one of the things that's causing the issue is most of the fresh content is coming through on, I don't know, outside things really. Be good to, you've got an Instagram widget, so there's a lot of stuff going on in Instagram, which is good, but is it driving traffic to the website? And when people come to the website, are they really then engaging with you? So that I would have a blog on here, and I would perhaps have some case studies as well. So if you take, I'll give an example of it because I've done it something similar. So if I go to my website and let that load up. Okay, so on my website here, if I go to my portfolio, okay, and on here then if I perhaps take an example, say, okay, so on here you see this website that I've produced recently, but here's just some examples. I mean, I'm not using video, I'm just using screenshots, but just displaying some screenshots is kind of just as powerful, but it's giving content as well. It's letting Google know that I do mobile friendly websites. It's kind of, it's still, every time I produce a new website or produce a new design, I'll kind of put together another package to show how I produced it. And this is kind of a way of getting content onto Google, but at the same time, it's a nice way of displaying what it is that you do. So plenty of visual, but also some keywords. So Google then goes, I know exactly what he does because I can see what he does, and I can read what he does. And it has quite an impact then on the results. So going back to here then, you've got a project gallery, but apart from a disclaimer, there's not a lot of information. So I was just doing a search. Convert old media to digital is kind of a really key thing that you're doing at the moment. And Channel 1 Digital comes up at number 1, but on just a few terms. So 1 Digital, you come up in the results. Potentially there's 400 people looking each month for 1 Digital. So I'm not sure if that's some other company or whether that's them trying to find you. But you're number 22 on that search term. And another 1 Channel, but spelt with a double E, so 1 Channel, you're number 70 in. And there's 1,300 people searching for that, but it's probably a mistake in spelling. Channel 1 Channel, 1,900 people are searching for that each month. You're number 40 on that. So you've not really got any definite search terms. So there's a bit of search engine optimization needed here. Channel 1 Digital is obviously the one that you do come up on, and that's because people know you and they're trying to find you. But there's not a lot of information on the pages themselves. And so apart from this type of information here, it's something that maybe you need to consider as well. So I've put together as many things as I can. I think there's 5 things in there that are going to help you to build a business. Some of it's Google My Business, some of it's perhaps just the way in which the website's laid out. What I do think is good is you have, first of all, a really smart looking website, so that's really good. I really like this home video production page, and I think all the other pages should kind of take something from this page and build on it as well. So do that. It's good that you've got excellent quote box here. That's really good, nicely done, nice and simple. You've got a very, I would say the logo itself and that is very professional. It makes me feel like I was dealing with a proper professional Hollywood company when I first came to the page, and it's kind of quite exciting because I didn't know what to expect as well. So that's good. It's good you've had some good reviews, and you've got people filling out 5-star reviews, and you're replying to them as well, so that's really good as well. And it's mobile friendly. So well done with an excellent website. I do like there's a lot of things that are good about it. Of course, this is a critique. The idea is not to just say all the good things, but it's to point out the things it needs to work on. So hopefully you've benefited from my critique, but also if you've been watching this video, then you can use some of this information that will apply to your website too, and you'll benefit from that. So hopefully you'll join me next time when I do another website critique. Meanwhile, here's a couple of videos that will no doubt help you because Google's chosen them specifically for you.